What's up guys, welcome to Voicey here. This is your host, Captain Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Yes, that's right, I heard your pleas, and today's video is just one subreddit. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, this story's called Just Ring Up My Screws, I Promise I Don't Work Here. Really. I ran to the local home improvement store last night for some screws and ended up browsing for a bit. Somewhere between looking at Dremel bits and contemplating a new soldering iron, I hear a man roar rather loudly.
What do you mean you don't have any? This is like basic stuff, you gotta!
I couldn't hear the employee's response, but it was rather short and he walked away briskly to resume stocking circular saw blades. My next thing to check out was drill bits, situated right behind Mr. Roar. Excuse me sir, but
Thank God, finally! Ralph, you said he was a really fat guy that looked like Santa Claus. This is a skinny guy in a baseball hat.
I don't work here, I say with a smile.
Well, crud.
He started laughing and then got a lot quieter.
Sorry, man, I was just giving my cousin a hard time. Am I in your way?
Yeah, just wanted to peek at the rack behind you.
I can't believe they don't have any easy outs. I'm just trying to get a broken bolt out of my lawnmower and...
They're on the bottom, right there.
What?
I scoot Mr. Roar away from the rack and grab a set of screw extractors for him.
Man, I knew Ralph doesn't normally work in this department, but he told me they didn't have any. Doesn't matter though, these are too small.
Oh, there are bigger ones over by the sockets.
Huh? Why aren't they all in one place?
These are for home improvement. The ones over there are counted as mechanics tools. Come on, I'll show you. I lead Mr. Roar over to the sockets, point to what he needs, and begin to walk away to check out.
Ralph! He found him!
I continued my beeline for the cashier. It failed. Just as she started her spiel on how to use the credit card terminal, Mr. Roar clapped me on the shoulder as he passed by to leave empty-handed.
Thanks again. It's good to know that at least store management knows what they're doing.
The credit card terminal went blank. Sorry, sir, I didn't recognize you. I don't work here. You don't have to work at this location. The discount is for all company employees. I don't work for your company. Are you sure? Yep, because the company policy says, just ring up my screws. I promise I don't work here. Really. Well, that was a nice story. I always love loud but polite people. Like, I guess loud wouldn't be the right word. Obnoxious but polite people. They're fun. Annoying, but really fun and usually nice, like I said. And kudos to this dude for being honest about not working there. I know a lot of people would have accepted that discount. Alright, this story is insanely long, and it's called Woman Mistakes Me for an Employee, Throws a Tantrum, among other things. Recently, I went to a grocery store. The store is a popular chain in my area. Most of the employees wear reddish polo shirts with black aprons or vests over them. Some just wear unbranded dress shirts or have dress codes unique to their department, like the coat worn by people in the meat department. I was wearing a black polo with a small logo for my occupational therapy clinic. This must have confused one of the other customers. I was picking up some ingredients for a bake sale going on at the grade school my girls attend. My wife was not only the organizer, she was baking 4 items to include in the sale. Since she was at home preparing cookies and brownies, I was sent to get more essentials like sugar and frosting. In the baking aisle, I was kneeling down to reach the large bags of sugar that are always on the bottom shelf. I was reaching towards the back of the bottom shelf since there weren't many bags left. While doing this, I was being careful to not overexert my right hand since I recently had to get stitches and it still hurt. I cut it with a razor while helping to set up a neighborhood haunted house. That's when I heard a high-pitched voice say, "I'll find it myself." I thought the voice was unnecessarily loud, but didn't really give it a second thought as I grabbed the bag and lifted it up to my cart. I placed it on the handle on top of the cart for a moment to give my hand a rest when a woman grabbed the bag off of my cart, put it in her own, and said, "Great, I don't have to go looking for it now." It was the same voice, and before I could react, she happily walked away and was out of sight as soon as she turned at the end of the aisle. There was nothing for me to do but bend down again and start the process over to get the last bag of sugar. After getting butter and eggs from the back of the store, I went through the condiments aisle to get to the front. The moment I entered the aisle, I saw the woman. I wanted to see if she would say anything as I walked by, but she was occupied with another customer. "Sir!" The woman's voice was so loud and piercing, it literally made me stop in my tracks for a moment. Could you please help me reach the ketchup? I need ketchup. She pointed to the top shelf that held the larger sizes of ketchup bottles. She didn't see me yet. She was speaking to an elderly gentleman who was walking with the aid of a cane. They're too far back, the woman exclaimed. I wish I could help you, the man replied, but I don't think I'll have any more luck than you. The man wasn't much taller than the woman. But I can't reach the ketchup and I need it. Fearing that she would not leave the man alone, I stepped in. I'll get the ketchup for you, ma'am. Reaching up was much easier than getting under a shelf. I could easily use my left hand to grab a bottle for the lady. She looked over her shoulder at me and then turned back to the gentleman. Let the employee get it. Again, her voice was loud as if she were trying to speak over some ambient noise that only she could hear. I'm not an employee, ma'am. The lady turned around to face me. But I need ketchup. I'll help you get the ketchup. Do you work here? No. Why do you want to get the ketchup? I don't want any ketchup. I'm trying to help you. I need ketchup. She pointed to the top shelf again. I know, I said, failing to hide the frustration in my voice. I had to reach over her outstretched arm, but I grabbed the bottle that she appeared to be pointing at. I tried to hand the bottle to her, but she looked at it in my hand and said, That's not big enough. I need big ketchup. I sighed and put the bottle back before picking up a 64-ounce bottle. The lid is on top, the woman whined. What? I asked, thoroughly confused. The lid is on the top of the ketchup. I need the ketchup with the lid on the bottom. You said you wanted the big one. There are only two choices. A 64-ounce bottle with the lid on top or a 32-ounce bottle with an inverted lid. I need the big ketchup with the lid on the bottom. I summoned patience I didn't know that I had. Perhaps you should get 2 of the 32-ounce bottles with the lid on the bottom. I put the larger bottle back and picked up the inverted ketchup bottle. When I held the bottle out for her to take, she just stared at it. So I put it in her cart next to the large bag of sugar and grabbed a second bottle. This one she took from me. I need the big ketchup! This time, the woman really yelled. This isn't the big ketchup! I need the big ketchup! She drew the attention of the entire store, including several employees that curiously looked in from the end of the aisle. I'm sorry, I said. I don't think I can help you with your ketchup problem anymore. As I reached for my cart, the woman threw the bottle of ketchup at me. I reacted by deflecting it away with my sutured hand. I exclaimed in pain. The bottle went flying into the shelf on the opposite side of the ketchup display with a loud cracking sound. Ketchup sprayed all over the products on the shelf. The lid of the bottle had cracked and broke off on impact. What's going on here? A woman who appeared to be the manager stepped up from behind the other employees. He doesn't work here! The obnoxious woman yelled. Ma'am, calm down, the manager said, trying to get the lady to quiet down. Tell me, he acts like he works here! The woman started pointing at me. He doesn't work here! Employees should help the customers! He doesn't work here! I tried to ignore the lady and inspected my hand. It was painful, but no serious damage. No, he doesn't work here, the manager said calmly. He followed me through the store and pretended to work here! That's not true. The elderly gentleman spoke up. He offered to help her. He explained that he doesn't work here, and after she asked him, he was trying to give me the wrong ketchup. To everyone's relief, the woman was now speaking at her normal volume. The man with the cane continued. That man was being as helpful as he could. She wasn't being reasonable. The manager saw me looking at my hand. Are you hurt? I'll be fine, I replied. I'm sorry for the mess. One of the other employees stepped close to the manager and spoke in a low voice. That woman threw the bottle at him. We all saw it. That's true, the old man added. Take him and his stuff to customer service and wait for me, the manager told the employee. If he needs anything for his hand, get it for him. The employee took hold of my cart and asked me to follow him. As I left the aisle, the woman asked, Are you kicking him out? No, the manager replied. At the customer service desk up front, I asked for ice for my hand and the employees promptly provided it. The customer service clerk asked us what happened. I don't know, I started to explain. He should be kicked out of the store for pretending to work here. The loud, shrill voice could be heard through the store. A moment later, the elderly man with the cane walked up to the front of the store and sat on a bench near the customer service desk. That woman is crazy, he said. Then 2 cops came into the store and followed an employee to the condiments aisle. I have to call my wife, I said. I'm supposed to get this stuff for the bake sale to her and it looks like this might take a while. Is that the school name, Bexel? The customer service clerk asked. Yes, I said as I made the call. You know it? My daughter goes to school name. Really? My wife is organizing the bake sale. At this point, the call connects and my wife picks up. I tried to explain to her what happened and that it might take longer than expected before I'm home. However, I had to cut my call short when one of the police officers started asking me questions. He asked me a few questions to get my side of the events. I told him everything, including what happened with the sugar. The manager arrived at customer service while I was talking to the officer. Once he was done, she said, "We're going to issue a gift card for the value of the items in your cart." "That isn't really necessary," I said. "It wasn't your fault." "Are you sure?" The manager seemed disappointed. The clerk spoke up. "Well, why don't you consider a donation then?" the manager suggested. "Plus, I think we can donate some custom baked goods from our bakery." "That would be great!" "Have your wife call me as soon as possible. We'll work something out." The clerk and the employee that got ice for me rang up my items, asked if I needed anything else, and issued a gift card for just over the amount of my total and used it to pay for the groceries. They gave me the card, which had less than $5 left. During that time, the cop interviewed the old man. When he was done, the old man asked, "What happened to that lady?" "She's been banned from the store," the manager said coldly and walked away with the officer. We both watched as the second officer escorted the lady out of the store as the manager and first officer followed. Wow. Okay, so what I've learned is the Redditor here is a good dude. He's actually really understanding, and I appreciate that coming from one of these stories where everyone just starts screaming at each other and there's no love left in the world. But yeah, good guy manager, good guy everyone, and that lady, she had something wrong with her because that's not rational behavior, not even for a Karen. This story's called Sorry, Not a Witch. Apologize for my mobile typing and any grammar errors and my descriptions because I am a very talkative person and it translates in my writing a lot. Example here. That was very cute. A few stories. They're short, but they bring me and my friends and family a laugh every so often. Here's the cast. There's me, Mom, Dad, Random Lady, Worker, Photographer. This takes place at Universal Studios, bright and early in the Harry Potter Wizarding World area. So I love Harry Potter. I've read all the books. I've read the first one 5 times if I recall, and the third one in a week in 3rd grade. But that's a story not for this subreddit. Anyway, since I love Harry Potter and my mom had bought me some Ravenclaw clothes, my Hogwarts house, for a Luna Lovegood Halloween costume, she thought it might be super fun to do a photo shoot in the park, just for fun and for a few other reasons. My grandpa had just died recently and we were all very sad because of this. So my mom bought a wonderful sign saying something along these lines, "Those that love us never truly leave us," for me to hold in the shoot. Some very important details. At the time, I was a teenager, around 13, 14 years old. We had paid a woman my mom knew to do my makeup, which meant at 4 a.m., my hair and makeup were done and I was dressed up in my costume ready to go to the park. I looked a lot older than I really was. The makeup was amazing and I was so excited for this. We got to the park early, but not totally people-free, which was fine because we didn't mind the amount of people. It just meant we had to be careful with pictures and that we weren't disturbing guests. We ourselves were guests at the park and could be there, but it would be rude to try and take advantage of that unfairly and all. Scene 1. I'm famous. So, with the camera and the photo taking and the entire around 20-year-old look I had, people were taking pictures of me getting my picture taken. "Mom, why is everyone looking at me so much?" "I think they think you're a famous celebrity or something, or you're important because you're having your photos taken." Oh wow, that's funny. Because I was not famous. No. My mother is a goddess and makes friends and is very nice and amazing, so she planned this all very well. I finish my picture in the area and we move on. I start to notice that, yes, people are looking at me because I look rather authentic. My outfit looks like what the actual workers are wearing and I look a lot older, so it's no surprise this happens. And yes, here is where the random lady comes in. Scene 2. We decide to ask if I can have my picture taken in one of the ride's waiting lines. That meant we could get in, take pictures, and leave, not ride the ride itself and cut a bunch of people. This is because at most rides in the Harry Potter area, the inside decoration is great and very detailed. So, of course, I'd fit right in with my outfit and wand.
Okay, we'd like to try and take pictures here. Is that okay?
Sure, I'll lead the way. As long as you don't disturb anyone or cut the line, that's fine.
My mom, dad, the photographer, and me all go follow the worker when I get stopped by someone. The area before the ride to put your bags and stuff away is very hectic. I had been on the ride the day before and I knew the rules for the bags and loose items already, as well as how crazy this place can be.
Excuse me? Can I bring this bag on the ride?
She gestures to her purse. I don't. My group is getting farther away and I'm scared to lose them, so I skip the mess and just say, "You can't bring purses on this ride, you'll have to put them in a cubby, miss." I point at a sign on the wall that has a "No bags allowed" picture on it. "I'm sorry, but I have to go now." I walk off quickly and join my group, wondering what the heck just happened. I told my mom and dad and then realized that she must have thought I worked there. Since I looked like I was in my 20s with the makeup, my outfit was very close to the workers. Actually, I looked eerily similar to most workers, and that the place was dark. Anything that said I was a teen was unseeable in this little room. So we all had a laugh, and later in the room, I got a lot of stares for the picture taking and got very flustered. I'm not good with open staring if I know it's happening, and whoever is staring is close or I can't see them. Which is a little odd since I'm doing this photo shoot, but whatever. I knew the people doing my pictures better, so I didn't mind them. It was their job after all. Haha, oh no, my butt fell off. And that's it. Overall fun and simple despite my rambling description of what the heck everything was. And the pictures from that area were really fun to shoot. This story is really fun to talk about when I tell friends and guests about the shoot if they ask, because I'm a little known for being assumed older. And the more it happens, the better it gets really. Haha, oh no, not again. Alright, this story didn't have the usual Dragon Ball-esque screaming and fighting and transforming into hideous monsters and all that jazz. No, this story was wholesome, it was cute, and I liked it a lot. The writing was good, and the whole subject matter was just precious. I really liked this story, wow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.